Good afternoon, and welcome back to the final segment of the Cat and Sam show. We're kind of sad to see it end on one note. On another note, I'm sure that you guys are very happy that this is finally over and we are crossing the finish line. So thanks to all of you who have joined us either throughout or intermittently. It's been our pleasure to bring updates from campus and to thank you on a daily basis for your generosity and for supporting us through this very tough time, but in an effort to keep Augustana strong. We appreciate your support.
It's been inspiring to see so many of you give gifts of really meaningful amounts, as well as gifts that are going to get you those nice face masks. We're really impressed with the way that you've stepped up during this tough time. Someone else who's impressed with you is President Steve Bahls, and he will join us now via a Zoom call that we pre-recorded with him. He's got a pretty busy schedule these days, so we look forward to hearing from Steve. All right, well, welcome back. We are excited to be joined by President Steve Bahls via a Zoom call. Steve is at the Dahl President's Home on campus, where he's been working from home during much of the last few months. And Steve, it's great to see you.
Yeah, thank you. Thank you, Sam. Thanks for your good work. And thank you, Kathleen.
Yeah, nice to see you, Steve.
We've been having a little bit of fun and have 3 questions for you, Steve.
I'll try to answer them.
All right. Your first question is, you sent a message to the campus and alumni communities yesterday regarding the deaths of George Floyd and others. Is there anything you want to reinforce from that message today?
Well, thank you for asking that question. This has been a difficult time period in our nation's history. And Jane and I were talking about this last week over the weekend and felt a little helpless being at home, quarantined with COVID precautions. So we decided, what can we do to address this issue, and decided that this sense of hopelessness that our country has, we need to move from hopelessness to action. What are we going to do to improve the system? As I think about it, Augustana is in a perfect position to do that. Higher education unlocks understanding, it unlocks a human potential, and our role as a higher education institution, as well as a church-related institution, positions us perfect to help us pursue justice, love mercy, and walk humbly. So Jane and I stepped forward with the creation of a presidential fund for justice and equity. It is a fund that will give small grants to our students to raise awareness in the Quad City community, in their own communities, and at Augustana on issues of equity and justice.
Thank you. Yeah, that's wonderful leadership from you, and we're grateful for that. We really are.
Yeah, thank you. Well, it's an honor to be part of the solution to the problem.
Right. Okay, so up next, we've heard during the past week from many members of the Augie Strong task force, and they're all doing incredible work. How are you feeling about our progress toward having in-person learning this fall?
Well, with each day, we become more confident that we'll be able to have in-person learning this fall. The Center for Disease Control has set out some guidelines that we think we'll be able to comply with. Likewise, we are expecting guidelines from the state of Illinois within weeks. We think they'll be very similar to the Center for Disease Control. If we look at the trend lines in the Quad Cities and in Illinois, the trend lines are favorable to us being able to reopen. So what I hear loud and clear from our students and our parents is that they want us to reopen if we can do so safely. The plan is to set forth those guidelines on our website and what we're doing to comply with those guidelines to be utterly transparent. But I feel confident that Augustana has a high probability of reopening and that we will reopen to guidelines. There will be social distancing, there will be masks, there will be additional cleaning. We may see athletics and large group gatherings altered here. But I think we're going to have a good fall semester. It's going to be different, right? But it's going to be a good fall semester because our students are anxious to get back at it.
Right.
Yeah.
I'm looking forward to it.
Great. All right. Well, your third and final question this is our last segment of this. So the third and final question of the entire series. So many people have stepped up for Augustana and supported the Gerber Challenge recently, which we're very grateful for. We've been focused on getting as many gifts of any amount as possible. So what do you say to someone who thinks a gift of, say, $10 or $25 doesn't matter or won't make a difference?
Well, I just got off the phone with Murray Gerber about 10 minutes ago before we spoke, and he was asking, how is the Gerber Challenge going? Are these large gifts or small gifts? He was so pleased with the number of gifts, both large and small. The point I would make with respect to our smaller gifts is that these gifts do aggregate. These gifts, as we aggregate them together, are going to aggregate with the challenge to more than $2 million at a time when the school needs assistance like that to keep Augustana affordable to our students. The other thing I would say is that when we go for grants, we are often asked, what percentage of your alums give? Because granting agencies view that as a sign of confidence that our alums have in us. So gifts of any size are welcome. Gifts at any size are taken by granting agencies to be an affirmation of those closest to us, our alums, a love of Augustana College. And in fact, they do aggregate. We're going to package these gifts and end up with about $2 million if we are successful. That $2 million will provide financial aid for hundreds of Augustana students to stay in school.
Yeah, absolutely. I think I couldn't have said it better myself, and I'm grateful that you put it that way.
Thank you.
Thank you very much, Steve, and thanks for being a guest on our 3 questions and being our final guest in this series. It's been great having you.
Well, thank you, and thanks to all who have supported Augustana College. As I'm sure you've heard before, the world needs Augustana College graduates more than ever, and we're happy to be in partnership with you.
Hear, hear. All right. Well, thanks so much, Steve. Have a great rest of your day.
Thank you.
Thanks, Steve. Really appreciate you and all that you and members of the cabinet, the leadership team are doing to guide us through this time. It's really been impressive as an employee to watch how we're being nimble and responsive to this fluid situation as it relates to COVID-19 and certainly the unrest and things that are happening in this country. Thank you for your leadership, for your thought leadership. It's been inspiring to see.
Feels good to know that we have strong leadership.
Absolutely.
So, we're to the end, Sam.
This is it.
I can't believe it.
I know. I won't see you every day.
I know that makes you sad.
Very sad.
Sam and I have a very special relationship and enjoy each other's company and have enjoyed bringing you an update every day, and we hope you've enjoyed it as much as we have. So again, thank you for all the great support, and go Augie.
Absolutely. And we would be remiss if we didn't thank everyone who helped make these videos possible, including Kyle Eckberg from our office, who's been our trusty director and cameraman throughout, the team in communication and marketing for helping to make sure you're seeing these videos come out, Greg Armstrong, Leslie Dupree, Carrie Resch, Kirby Wilson, and then even our own student intern, Jacob Huffer. So thanks so much for all that you have done to keep Augie strong this week and from behind the scenes, and thanks so much to all of you for your support. We really do appreciate it.
We look forward to seeing a lot of you soon when we get back on the road.
That's right.
Can't
Take
wait.
care.